All right, welcome back to Winding Down with Padre. I'm here again with my good friend Ben Moody. Ben, welcome back, man.
Thanks. I appreciate
we
it.
got we're sticking on the so we're still in the whiskey edition of Winding Down. We're gonna stick on the Scotch train. I don't know.
Say this one too?
I don't know squat about Scotches, but
last time you couldn't pronounce the other one.
I'm really trying.
You need Google Translate on it.
I'm just going with Glenmorangie. I don't even know.
Sounds good.
18-year-old, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm neat again.
Neat.
Just neat.
I like it. Cheers. Thanks for having me back at the camp.
Absolutely. Man, how's Camille?
Good.
So November 3rd.
November 3rd.
She's due.
Yep.
This is your fourth.
Getting close. Yeah. Number 4 and.
Do we know, girl, boy?
Don't know. The last 2 have been surprises. We found out on the first 2, and we'll see.
So is she like carrying? You do all that. Y'all think about that? That she carries high, carries low. It's a girl. It's a boy.
Used to
like I'm carrying like I carry the boys.
Craving like sweets or cheeseburgers or whatever, and it's like.
Does that even work? Is that
sometimes
is that a legit
sometimes
science?
it doesn't. She's a trooper though. Like.
She's a beast.
Yeah.
She's amazing. I use beast in a good word.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like very would not talk about hunting. Would not be able to have 4 kids and and hunt as much as I like to do.
Right.
Like the other day I threw the idea out there. This goes to show you how much of a saint she is.
Mm.
You know, I get the idea guy. I like to come up with these crazy ideas that a lot of my hunting buddies know. Like, it's like, hey, what about like a week-long hunting trip the week after Thanksgiving? You know, the kids are back in school, flexible with work at that time. Like, you know, I want to go to this public land place like 16 hours away. Like, what's your thought on that? It's like, it could probably work. Like, remind me, she'll have a month-old baby and 3 kids. 7, 4, 3, and a month old.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, that can probably work.
Mm.
So.
If you pull that off, you need to write the book.
Yeah, I made sure I mentioned it on camera. So
I'll write a forward to it.
She can remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll document this.
Anyway, I got my agenda out of the way. Whatever you want to talk about.
Lord Jesus. Well, for those of you who maybe watched the last episode, we talked about.
Did I say something wrong last time?
No, we'll put that in the show notes.
Okay.
Caveat. No, you didn't talk about the Game Wardens too much. It was good.
All right,
it was good. It was on the DL. Absolutely. I didn't get any phone calls. Too many phone calls.
I didn't know if you were inviting me back because I either said something you want to talk more about.
Clarify.
Or, clarification.
That's right.
Or if there was something that I needed to correct on camera.
No, we have been hunting together
so
for
they haven't seen
6 or 7 years.
Okay, yeah. If they haven't seen the other one, they should probably go watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go back and watch last week's episode. Okay. Just kind of gives you a background on why in the world we're together and why we're talking about hunting. But just develop great friendship through our mutual bond we have together, La Coin, which, if you want to know what that means, you got to go back to the other episode. But you left, last time we were together, you left with, we kind of closed up with a very, I think, a very telling, very important, very I thought would be a great conversation about how, I know a lot of guys, and I know I've done this, like just coming home, like I look forward so much to going hunting. Like I'm thinking about it all week long for the weekend. And when it's time, like I get my bags and I go and I just disconnect and I just unplug and
you put what song do you normally put on right when you get in your truck?
Come on, Zach Brown. I mean, it's Zach Brown or what's it, Island or Sand or something. So like just disconnecting, like it's kind of like balls to the wall like the whole time. It's just like nonstop because like I don't know when it's gonna happen again, and it's just so enjoyable, and I'm with people I love.
The camaraderie, camp, staying up late.
Right. So, but the unfortunate thing is, like,
Waking up early.
sometimes waking up early, going to bed late, like probably not getting a nap. You come back, and I know you would never do this, but some guys, I can't imagine some guys actually might do this. You know, they leave their family, they go to a camp, and they come back. They leave Friday and they come back Sunday afternoon, and can have a tendency to re-enter into their life and just miss the fact that maybe their wife was home and take care of the kids, miss the fact that they were away from their kids, miss the fact that re-enter into life and just like crash because they're so tired and they're so exhausted. Maybe just throwing the clothes in the corner, like crashing at home, and just being disconnected from family, from their wife, from like their primary responsibility. And I've heard that perhaps and I mean, you said, obviously, I don't know, Camille's like an angel, a saint, like
Right.
perhaps
I mean,
the
it's
wives,
It's a double-edged sword.
yeah,
Like,
families can like become bitter or resentful, like the camp is our enemy. Like hunting takes dad away from us, and it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
And I think we've experienced maybe, or we've tried to work to where hunting actually is the opposite. Like
Right.
somehow we can go home refreshed and renewed, and like it's life-giving.
Yeah. I mean, whenever we first, and I mentioned this last time, but whenever we first started hunting, it was like, oh, I got a nice hall pass. Like, hey, Camille, I'm going hunting with Father Michael, you know? So, like, it was, but at the end of the day, getting home and, like, I started asking myself that question, like, why is it different? Why do I feel less drained, or, you know, and you know, that's what, for me at least, like, and you and I's hunting together, like, started stirring up that question of like, why is it sometimes I go to camp, sometimes not, like, and Camille has been a saint in that of like, you know, she understands that it's something I've done since I've little, like it's a part of, you know, who God created me to be. Like it ain't going anywhere. But like her answering that question of like, oh, we'll see, like, I'm like, crap. You know, like I gotta, like, I would almost rather her say like, I don't think you can go. We're gonna have a month old, like, whatever, you know, like, I'm gonna figure out a way to go, right?
Right.
But whenever that trust is given, like, now I gotta be responsible for that. And like, it's my job to like, kind of, it's not just a hall pass, right? It's not like, oh, I can go. Like, it's a responsibility of like, should I go now? And like, it's my burden and question to own and figure out. So at least that's where I'm at right now, trying to figure it out. You know, when we get closer and the big front's coming through and it looks like the weather will be really good, and, you know, might shorten the trip, maybe, you know, get a babysitter, support, you know, build the infrastructure to make it a little easier. But I'm joking about that, but I'm somewhat. I am, I guess I'm saying like that, like you were saying, that question of like, and that's what, when you and I started hunting together, I started asking myself that, why do sometimes this? And it's the people is a part of it, but what I realized, it was the intentionality and the purpose and the going hunting for sure, but the, like that aspect of going kill them, the way we think the weather would be good, the excitement, all that. But it was the intent or fruitful conversations, like deeper. That's not the right word. Like, just not surface level. Like, leaving, driving away from the hunt, kind of like, oh, that was. Remember we talked about that? That was like, and that was neat. Like, I learned this from, you know, whatever. And it wasn't just because you were a priest. It was because of our relationship and like the ability to like talk about our experiences and whether it be college or you know whatever it might be, just talking about things that, you know, we felt comfortable to talk about. So yeah, that was kind of and I see you're wearing the Pursuit shirt, so I'll mention that, but like, that was kind of the start of it. Like, that question. And like that, well, man, when I go to camp, like I go hunting, I like that. When I go to camp, like, there's gotta be I don't want to come home exhausted. Like, I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better husband.
Mm-hmm.
Hunting is part of that, but it's not I don't work, to provide for my family, to go hunting on the weekend and, be there during the week, right? So there's a lot in that.
Yeah, I think, I know at some point we probably talked about, like being intentional about all things in our life. So looking at everything, like not compartmentalizing our life. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything in our life has to be pointed to, like, making me a better man of God, a better husband, a better father. And if it's not, like, why is it in my life? And like, passionate about duck hunting, but does duck hunting make me a better man? Does it make me a better husband, better father? If it doesn't, like, why is it in my life? Like, I agree. It's not going anywhere. So
maybe in South Louisiana it doesn't work, We're not gonna get
so,
into that.
So I need hunting because it does make me better, but sometimes it doesn't. Like,
right.
Sometimes my passion becomes an obsession.
Ooh.
And so like, whereas I'm looking forward, I'm passionate, I love duck hunting, versus all I'm thinking about is duck hunting. Like, when I'm at home and it's like family time,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm researching decoys. I'm like listening to what's the new duck call coming out. Like,
Did you
look
at my Google search or something?
I'm looking at like public land in Arkansas,
Yeah.
and Montana and Wisconsin and Idaho and Kansas, and like, how do I get further up north, and how do I walk with them down, and it's just like, it's taking over me, and it's like, it has my heart.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, okay, how do I keep those things in check, right? And we just started having those conversations about, like, and I think the word pursuit, like, what are we pursuing?
And why?
And when, why? And why?
Yeah.
And how some pursuits can overtake others that are more important.
Mm-hmm. And like, there's a for me personally, there's a big attachment to the outdoors and hunting in general, because like, to me, I grew up in the city, like in Lafayette. Like, my dad was from Crowley, so a lot of my cousins were farmers. A lot of my uncles were farmers, cousins were farmers. Like hunting was the common ground. Like, I couldn't go farm with them,
Mm-hmm.
but like, hunting was that common ground that I could like be outdoors and like have learned that hands-on work ethic and like be out in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for me, like the desire, the deep desires in hunting, like I've learned a lot, not just from how to call or how to like strategy, but like there's a work ethic perspective that was really instrumental in my life that I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that passion, right? So like, I think it's important to talk about passions as a fuel that I think God uses to help us be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we love to pursue it, but there's a caveat to that, right? And that's the priority that you would set it, or like, where you like pursuing it over what, right? In that context. So I want to make sure you mention that, because I don't think passions, right, or
No, passions are good.
because
Like,
it's
they
hard to
are.
draw the line. Passion, obsession, right? Like, might have spent a couple hours this week Googling, some maps and researching.
No,
but like,
passions are absolutely good. But what I'm saying is, I know that passions can overtake our focus, our heart, our mind, and they can take us away from the things that we are called to primarily be passionate about: our wife, our kids, our God.
mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, there was, one thing I was thinking about, I had to let it go. Just this idea of well,
we're talking about pursuit.
Yeah.
We're talking about I don't know. If you get it back, bring it back.
Yeah.
Churros.
But just this idea of pursuit. So we just asked, what are we pursuing, right? We just talk about making a priority. Like, okay, like pursuing. We're out here. I know what it was. There's something about a hunt. I mean, I talked about this like 3 episodes ago. Like the frustration of how the domestication of men, like just this the sterilization of like we go from our house to a box, like to our office, to a box behind a screen, behind a cell phone, clean, sterile. We leave that box. We drive home, air conditioned environment, clean, sterile. Like we can live in that
like
mode.
Masks.
Yeah, it's just crazy, you know. But there's something that comes alive when we get in the woods. There's something that comes alive when there's a communal effort of, hey, let's get this gear together. Let's have a destination.
Yeah.
Let's have a
What's the strategy? What's the game plan?
What's going to happen? Let's intersect the birds, the deer, and let's a goal of like conquering. You know, and it's fun. It's, you know, come alive. So this.
It's such a physical experience, right? Like we're talking about, everything else we do is virtual and like, you know, whatever it might be, it's a physical, like, working and providing in a way of, like, you know, hunting. Like there's nothing, I don't think there's anything as basic of the food chain or whatever it might be of our, like, especially from as a man, like, to I think do that taps into something really cool.
Sure. But I think like that has springboarded into you said it. You know, what are we pursuing?
And why?
What do we want to pursue and why? Like, okay, I want to pursue my wife. I want to pursue. I know a lot of guys talk about like I was pursuing her when I was dating her, and then we got married, and then almost like I stopped pursuing her. Like I just pursued something else, like my job. Yeah. You know, I pursued this position. I pursued.
I mean,
I started
the
a company.
destination versus the journey, right? I mean, if the destination was to get married, then the next destination is to be the vice president, right? The COO, the XYZ, right? Like the destination mindset versus the like right, the thinking of the mindset of it, like the journey of it, as far as like, you know, my goal is tonight. My goal is to be married. So what does it take to do that, right? And how does hunting fit into that journey? Yeah, like hunting, like if hunting could be an instrument, a tool, a means that would make me a better man, a better husband, a better father. Bro, sign me up, you know? Yeah. And it doesn't compete for my marriage. It doesn't compete for my family, but actually helps me be a better husband and father. Like, sign me up. Right. Yeah. So that's where, like, that's where pursuit kind of came from. Was like you and I hunting a lot together, and we were like, man, this is unique. How we get to experience and bring people, invite people into it. Like, what if we turn this into a retreat? Like casual, you know, weekend of hunting with a little bit more intentionality behind it than what we normally do just at our blind. Sure. And it's the pursuit that brings us there, right? The pursuit of ducks, or the pursuit of deer, or whatever we're hunting. Like that's what brings us there.
Right. Yeah, so inviting a bunch of guys who love to hunt, who would feel absolutely comfortable in a duck blind,
in the camp,
and like
experience a little bit different camp life.
Yeah, and so we invite them to come on a duck hunt, like an extended duck hunt, wherever it may be, and we have camp life. Yeah. But maybe introduce them to, like you said, a different camp life. Yeah. Like an intentional conversations.
Right.
Like we're
gonna be more intentional with the conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna light a fire outside, and at some point.
And that means both ways, right? Like, being proactive with the conversation, but also being proactive with, like, you know, the things we don't, that aren't helpful to us being a better husband or better father, conversation. So,
right. In other words,
filter.
we'll have a couple of drinks, but we're not going to get smashed.
Right.
Right. Like, we'll stay up late, but we're not going to stay up till like 2 a.m. so that we're just no
Zombies.
good going back
Right.
home. It's like, hey, this is fun. Like, this is great. Like, let's just get to bed so we can have a good night's sleep, or let's collectively take a nap in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Like, things we would all want to do, but we don't let
Never
ourselves
say.
do, you know, because we're just like grinding and we're like, well, there's some fish to be caught. There's like
I
some
will
trout
say
line.
a unique, you know, because we get back from hunting and we cook lunch, have a couple beers, and it was like, we're gonna have mass and, you know, in confession in a little while, and it's like, well, okay, we can like take a nap before that, you know, let's get refreshed, take a shower. So it's
Right.
good. It's good. It's a good excuse,
Right.
to kind of.
I think it was.
But I want you to summarize that. Yeah, I mean, we do things like, you know, but it, to me, the core theme of it, right? I would want you to explain that a little bit more in depth, right? Like, and I don't know if that's what you're about to say, but that's what I'm
No,
thinking.
well, I think what I've enjoyed about our friendship is our friendship has extended beyond the blind. So we have kept in touch and we talk about life and we meet outside the blind. And so the blind is just an extension of our friendship.
Yeah, exactly.
But like God is part of our friendship in the blind and outside the blind.
Right.
So the blind is not like a place where we go to escape. The blind is just a place where we go to like have deeper conversations and like we know we're gonna have
And we
4 to
both
5
love-
hours to have like intentional conversations. We're gonna have those conversations outside and God's gonna be a part of it. So
And we both love to, like, I can't harp that enough. Like we both love the same. We both have the same similar passion.
yes, we are we are going
We're
hunting
gonna be hunting
on a
that day,
north wind
regardless.
with 10 to 15 miles an hour clear skies.
Yeah, it's just like lining up that we can do it together.
Right. So,
Yeah.
this, okay, like, the idea
So
of
you go to the
pursuit, like,
camp.
how do we introduce guys to, not, like, a way that hunting just fits into, like, a lifestyle, like, a way of life, like, how to, like, have great conversation in the blind, like, to not treat the camp or the blind as something I have to have,
Right.
like, to get a fix, but it's just like,
Or to like escape from, man, a rough week. You know, I do, like, if I'm working a lot, it's like, man, I want to go fishing by myself, or, you know, like, I understand that. I'm not saying it that way, but like to escape reality of like, I don't want to go on the weekend and stay home with the kids and the wife. Like, escape our priorities, I think, as our responsibilities.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that is that what you were kind of alluding to?
Yeah, and
Like,
just
as far as getting out of.
yeah, the camp becomes something I have to have.
Right, that's what you're saying.
It's I mean, I hate to say this because I love going to the camp, but it's just it's a safe drug that we wouldn't talk about. You know, it's like I need to have this. 'Cause if I don't go hunt this weekend, I'm gonna be just hell on with, like, just don't get around me. You know, and I'm gonna let my wife know. You know, like, you didn't let me go, so, you know, whatever it looks like. But what we found ultimately, I think, is that as we were pursuing ducks, as we were pursuing deer, as we were pursuing game, as we were pursuing fish, like, ultimately, like, the freedom that has let us allow just the duck hunt to be the duck hunt,
Yeah.
and allow us to play in the duck hunt, is that, like, God is pursuing us the whole time that we are trying to pursue whatever it is we're pursuing.
Right.
Like, the freedom of, oh my gosh, like the Lord loves me and He has set this place up. Like, it was a beautiful, like, our blind is beautiful. He has set up these beautiful mornings. He set up our friendship. He set up the mallards that come in. He set up the conversations. Like, He is behind all of this, and for us not to, like, want to grasp at it, and we talked about this last time with Father Casey, like lust, like not to grasp and to try to take it and squeeze everything we can out of it, but just to enjoy it, but to enjoy it with the Lord.
And I mean, for me at least, like, it's never perfect. Like, there's instances, especially like when we were talking about the Arkansas trip last time. Like, there's instances when I'm in that boat trying to beat that other boat to the hole that I know they're trying to go to too, and like, I ain't thinking about anything except get in that hole, because we whacked them there yesterday, right? Like, there's, to me,
and I was wanting you to get to that.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, you know, I'm not sitting up here saying that like, oh, you know, every moment of the day we're thinking, but like, there's, like you said, there's just trying to be conscious of pursuing the passion, and for me, that's duck hunting, like that passion with him, and the people that you're with, and sharing that experience with each other, like in the simplistic form. Like, to me, that's what pursuit's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what I desire and hope to be all about with the people that I hunt with. Like, to me, that's authentic and real and fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of hunting adventures. Like, that's what I like to do.
And I think what we talk about in the retreat is,
do I do it all the time? No.
Well, we just talk about it. What we talk about in the retreat is like, how do we bring that mindset like into every part of our life? Like, how do we bring it into our job? Like, my job is not a tool. How can I like pursue the people that I work with, like love them and care for them, and like, in other words, my job is not just the totem pole that I'm looking to climb, but it's relationships, and it's if I'm not passionate about my job, like
that's one right. But I think the other pendulum of that is like, or the 8 to 5, where I just go get a paycheck and check out, right? Like, I think you can be on both sides of that coin, right? Mm-hmm. Of like, I'm there to get to the next level, or, you know, like growing up playing video games, like I want to get to that next level,
which is miserable,
right? But the other side of it is being miserable and like lukewarm about it, right? Like not really. It'd be like going hunting and just like, I don't really care to kill anything. I'm not really here to kill anything. I'm just kind of here to get out.
I don't want to hunt that person.
Yeah, like here to just collect a check, right?
Right.
So I want to say that because I think it's like, it's important to know the not just when it comes to work. I'm talking about hunting, like
work hard, play
hard. We're there
like
to kill,
right,
and to be like, and to do your best at that. But it's not the end all be all. Just like your job is not the, like, you're there to play a role for the organization, to create value and get some value for that, right? To provide for your family, but like, that's not the.
Are you saying like, as hunting, like
the paycheck is not the end all be all.
When we just give into hunting, like, we are fully alive. Like, we're having fun.
Yeah.
And we are like, there's no limits. Like, whatever it takes, we're just going at it. Like, endless. Like, wake up at 3, wake up at 2, wake up at 1. Like, whatever it takes. Like, haul stuff, buy stuff. Like, get her done. But like, to take that that energy, that being alive, like, take that to work, or take that home, and like,
to your family.
Be alive and like pursue your wife, like pursue your kids, like be healthy and be alive and be vibrant. Like, why would I just be so alive in the duck blind and then go home and just freaking crash on the couch and just be humdrum and like, my little boy's like, man, I want to go play outside, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like,
or like, my little boy's always mad that he couldn't come, so he's always asking me like, well, did y'all kill anything? Let me see some pictures. Did, you know, like, where are the ducks at, you know? That's
we always talk about like, when you get home, like, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
Like, it's not time to shut it down. It's like, your family's waiting. Like, you better. So like, in pursuit, like, we intentionally, like, this is tough. This is very tough. We hunt Friday morning, we hunt Saturday morning, but Sunday morning, like, we don't hunt,
right?
And we leave to come home to our family, and we try to make mass. We do mass together, but like it's hard to leave a morning that we could have hunted, but we know we'd get back just tired and exhausted and no good. But it's like, okay, like what's the point?
Yeah, and mindful too. Some of those places we've been, it's it's a 6-hour drive or 8-hour drive, like to where if you put us back, if we hunted that morning, you could, and you just get back late at night, but.
we have talked about it. Like we try to talk ourselves out of it so much. Like we can.
No, but like the last, I want to say we did one at our blind, by Portage area. Like it was, we did hunt that Sunday morning, but we left at which is probably harder to me. Like we left at 9. Mm-hmm. Like, and typically like our place, if you're gonna kill a mallard, it's probably not gonna be till noon. Or 11, 10 o'clock. So leaving at 9 is kind of a sacrifice. But I mean, we're 30, 45 minutes from Lafayette, so we get back decent time. We had lunch with the wives, and
like they appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean, I think those little things. I mean, our wives. I know mine. She's not stupid. Like she knows whenever I do little things that prioritize her or the family. Or when I do little things that don't prioritize it.
Right.
So, doing those little things, I think, and like some of the things that we talk about a lot, it's like, okay, like she'll be like, yeah, go to the camp for the weekend, or, and it's like, okay, I'm starting to think like, man, should I just go to the camp Friday night? Like, hunt Saturday morning, come back, like just trying to think about those things.
Yeah, and you kind of started off
in the past. It was never thinking.
Yeah,
about that.
You started this whole our conversation off with. That's a lot of responsibility, like to be entrusted with. Like she's basically saying, yeah, go for it, but like I'm trusting you to think about our family and to decide what's best for you and our family.
Yeah, like a leader of our family. Yeah, it's your responsibility.
So like if you're going for 3 days, you're telling me like you need 3 days, but you're gonna come back like ready to go. But like my translation is don't come back like useless and burnt and angry, because like that's no use to me.
Yeah, I never translated that side of it, but yeah, I think that there's getting back to the, I guess, pursuit theme of it. Like, there's so many avenues, right, from a prioritization and pursuit aspect that we're touching on. Like, to me, hunting is so simple. It's such a simple, for me, like that was such a simple context to like look at it in. Yeah, because a lot of other things can get muddy, like.
Yeah, I think hunting just amplifies. It highlights a chase.
Yeah,
we're chasing after something, and it's just clear what we're chasing after. We're chasing after mallards. We're chasing after whitetail. We're chasing after speckled trout. Yeah. Like it's clear what we're chasing. Whereas in life, sometimes what we're chasing kind of gets lost. Like we're chasing the dollar, we're chasing a position, we're chasing maybe an extra relationship. We're chasing something that maybe we haven't named, maybe we haven't identified, but it's the chase is taking us away from maybe priorities that like the Lord wants. Right. Like to get us to realize, hey, like I'm whatever you're looking for, like I am, and I have given you everything you need. Like you don't need to chase after this. Just enjoy it. Yeah. Like enjoy it and stop trying to make it more than what it needs to be. Like the mallard is not your God. No. Like enjoy it. Right. Like be a kid and go after it, but don't live for this. Let it be a place that's healthy, and I would even say holy. Absolutely. But like keep it in perspective.
Yeah.
maybe in on that.
Sounds good to me. I need a refill.
I'm done. I'm like, Lord. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed our conversation. Man, just good seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good hanging out with you.
Grateful for the opportunity to
have
the excuse to hang out again.
I don't know what's going to happen this year.
Well, the good news is you have an associate now, so
praise him.
But the bad thing is he likes to duck hunt, I heard. So
he does, and we'll have that conversation when that conversation comes. We're always starting to talk about dates.
Yeah.
Blocking the schedule. Yeah, we're blocking the schedule.
Right.
There's only so many opening days.
Right.
And
that's true.
But I've got my elk hunts and all this other stuff. So
yeah, you got to prioritize.
Absolutely. I want him to be healthy, and I want him to be all good.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, if you enjoyed our conversation, please share it with your friends. Like us, share it. It just basically exposes maybe some content to people who might find this helpful. So, if you know somebody with a duck camp, or who's into duck hunting or deer hunting or what have you, and they might get a different perspective on hunting, certainly please share that with them.
Yeah, and I'd be curious if other people have different ideas or perspectives that they've experienced, or how they incorporate intentionality in their camping duck hunts.
Yeah, include that in the comments. Give us some links to people who are trying to do the same thing. Maybe I know I listen to like a ton of podcasts of hunting, like just some great guys who, like, there's a brotherhood, there's a companionship, and you can tell like Christ is in the center of it, and they love hunting. They love hunting together, and just something beautiful about hunting.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got you haven't even told me about these. Like, you talk about all the other ones, like
maybe I'll put them in the
business
show notes.
leadership ones, but these,
that's
like,
right.
I need these.
Yeah, absolutely. This is when I'm tired. This is when I'm tired of leadership books. I listen to hunting podcasts. All right. Well, we're gonna who knows what we'll do next week. We're gonna continue. Father Duga will be back next week on we're gonna continue this whiskey edition going. Hopefully Father Duga's got some new whiskey. Who knows? It may be from Kentucky, it may be from another state. I got them all frazzled.